Hi and welcome again. In today's video, I'm about to show you how to maintain a P08 Luger disassembly, cleaning, and obviously reassembly of the gun to do it properly while using the proper product and tools. So I hope you guys gonna have fun in this little video because this is not a common gun. This is a I believe Mauser made 1937 Luger 08 style pistol. This one is in 9mm, all matching numbers. It's a beautiful piece of equipment and actually a collectible of mine. So I will make sure to do a shooting video with that gun for sure. But in this video today, we are going to clean it. So the first thing we want to do, safety check the gun. So to do that, I'm going to remove the magazine. You have the magazine release on the side, just like a modern pistol. A lot of the things are something that you will be able to recognize from modern pistol, others not so much. So magazine comes out, I'm going to set the magazine aside, I'm going to chamber check the actual gun, so grabbing on the toggle, pulling back, and I want to make sure that I have a clear chamber on there, and I do. Excellent. So to take the Luger apart, you have a disassembly level right here. Exactly right there. So what you want to do is release the tension on it. What I do is I put the toggle up a little bit so that the actions move slightly back. And with my other thumb, I will be putting the disassembly level to the down disassembly position. Then what I will do is I will release the tension here and remove that little side plate. Set the little side plate aside. Now you want to also notice that you have like a thin edge here, and this wedge itself into the lower frame. So when you put this back together, obviously I will show you how to do so, but you want to be very careful not to damage this. It's not like you're going to buy another one. So I'm going to set this little piece aside. I'm going to close the toggle fully, and I'm going to slide the action right out of the gun. Notice you have this little piece right here, and this little piece goes behind that essentially recoil system that you will have on there. So set this aside. So we have the frame, right? Nothing's really special with this. I'm going to set the frame a little bit aside so you have wood grips on it. All right, excellent. So we have this piece right there. So pull the toggle up a little bit to just release a little bit of the tension. There's not much tension on it. And you do have a little pin here. It's a little bit bigger on one side than the other, so we're going to go to the small side and we are going to push it through. Right, so you can just push it right through, and this is going to allow you to take the little toggle out. So I'm going to lift it up, right, and gently, there's a spring of its own here, so slide the part out, right, and they have their own rails in here, right. It's not too dirty. This is a regular maintenance that we're going to do on it. So I'm going to set this aside, and here I have the disassemble upper with the barrel. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I have my little routine. So me, I prefer to start with the barrel. Now the barrel and the upper slide assembly is essentially one piece. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to apply the product, our cleaning product, onto the top. Then I'm going to have the toggle and the firing mechanism here. And then I'm going to do the bottom part. So to clean this gun, to be true to the form of it, and I tend to do this with older guns, I'll be using a different product than I usually use. And the product I will be using is a product I've been using since I'm a little kid. A very popular product in Europe. As a matter of fact, this is Ballistol, and from what I understand, Ballistol used to be the CLP, or Clean Lubricant and Protect Agent, for the German militaries. So my father used this product before me. I have used this product on my hunting rifle when I was a little kid. It's a very, very good product. It's eco-friendly, so you can notice I don't wear gloves. Now you want to wear gloves, generally speaking, but I'm not wearing it. Skin safe, no carcinogen. I'm gonna be bad with that pronunciation, but you got the idea. So this is the product I'm gonna be using to clean the gun, lubricate the pistol, and protect the pistol. To make sure, then I apply the product everywhere where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna shake the product. I'm gonna give it a little spray in the barrel, right, and start foaming a little bit. Very good. And for the other parts, to control the amount of product I'm putting on, I'm going to actually put the product onto an acid brush. And this is something that I recommend if you have striker fire pistol, or you have precision work, and you want to clean your firearms while putting a control amount of product on it. So this is an acid brush, not a regular mini paintbrush. Don't use mini paintbrush. This is what I would recommend. By the way, I will put a link to everything I'm using in the description just so you have it. All right, so we're going to start applying that ballistol product onto the gun. It's very thin. Now, it does have a particular smell to it. So for me, it brings me childhood memories. For my co-workers, people who work with me in the industry, a lot of them don't like that smell. As a matter of fact, a lot of them would say that it smells like dirty socks, or which is not what I believe to be true. I like the smell of that product, but in any case, that's what they say. Now, if you have any experience with that product, tell me what you think about it as far as the smell goes, not just how good it is, because I know how good it is, I'm using it, but mostly about your experience as far as the smell of it. You like it, you don't like it, people around you hate you for using it or not. All right, so I'm going to put that product all over the metal part. And what you want to do is you want to give a chance for that product to work for you. So don't start scrubbing or anything like this. Just let it sit for a little bit, right? So I'm going to move on to the next part. Same thing, put in a little bit of ballistol. And by the way, this is also safe on wood, polymer, and so on. So very good product. And I'm going to do the same. Notice how it has that little bubbly look to it, and it starts to work quite well on the dirt and deposit, and works good also with this product works extremely good with black powder guns. So if you have old black powder guns that you're using and you want to clean them, this is just an amazing product. Again, I've been using this product for many years, and I can only say good things about it. And the people, I believe, Ballistol were Ballistol US, and let me see where they are actually. Distributed by Washington Trading Corporation, North Carolina. I had an opportunity to talk to those people a few times, and they are just absolutely amazing, just great, really responsive, really nice people. All right, I'm going to do that little plate. I'm not forgetting any metal parts, so I'm going to brush this, apply the product onto the gun, right? Thin coat of it. A little bit more on the acid brush. Note that I'm not using much of the product. And here it's good to know that it's not going to damage my wood grip. Because like I say, those wood grips are not exactly the wood grips you're going to go out there and just order online easily for your gun. So I definitely don't want to ruin them. Notice all the dirt here is starting to melt away, right? So I'm going to apply this product all over the metal part. I hope the angles of the cameras are good and it's not too much glare on the video, because the bluing on that gun is still very good and has a tendency to have a shine to it. Right, and I'm applying this to the metal part. All right, beautiful. So product has been applied to the metal parts. Now typically at this point I would recommend that you let the product sit for a little bit, fix yourself a little coffee, just give it a little bit of time to soak in, and then come back to it and work at it. So to remove all hard to get carbon deposits or anything I may have on the gun that the product did not successfully or easily remove, I'm using a nylon bristle gun cleaning brush. Again, don't worry about it, description. The link will be in the description of what I'm using. But definitely nylon, not steel. Imagine you get a steel brush, you brush that finish on a gun that old. You would not like yourself for doing it. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of product, and gently I'm going to brush all the external part of that barrel slide assembly right here. And the reason why I'm doing the outside first is because I don't want to start putting carbon and dirt in the barrel that I would have cleaned. So I'm going to clean the outside part first, and then I'm going to go and deal with the barrel inside. Okay, beautiful, right? Look at this piece of equipment. This is just a piece of art. It's not made like they make guns nowadays. I mean, this is really fitted. You have to appreciate that everything has a serial number. I mean, the barrel has a serial number, will match the slide, will match every part. I mean, it's just impressive. All right, copper bristle gun cleaning brush. And remember, I have the product in there, so I'm gonna run the brush back and forth just a few times. Sorry about the shake for the camera. I'm trying my best. Good, excellent. Just a few. Run into it. All right. Very good. I'll take the opportunity to remove my copper brush and put the little oiling brush pad on it. All right, set this aside. And now I'm going to move on to the other part. Now you have a checkering here, very good quality, very nicely done. Don't forget to brush that, because as you're racking the gun, you're going to leave skin deposits in there. And you don't want this to rust, to oxidate and ruin the finish. So just give it a brush. Very good. Excellent. So I'm brushing all the part. Very good. Put this aside. Kind of inspect this part. Not much to deal with here. Just making sure it's in good condition. And take the slide right here. I have rails on both sides here connecting the upper and lower. So definitely want to tilt the brush. And I want to be able to brush right into those grooves. I don't know if you can see it. So yeah, definitely want to catch those grooves right there. So I tilt the brush to the side. And here I have my feeding ramp extension, if you want, on the frame. So definitely want to clean that. It gets dirty at the time. Very good. Remove that little pin. I'm just making sure. Even that have a serial number matching, last numbers of the serial number matching matching the ones on the actual gun. All right, beautiful. So set this aside. So now everything has been technically cleaned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice little cotton rag and I'm going to wipe everything down. So removing all the dirt. Notice who comes with it. So just wipe everything down. Prepare all the parts for oiling. So that's what we want to do. All right, so I'm going to be very, very careful here. All right. And I'm going to show you a little trick here, because you have very thin rails here. So they're very difficult to get into it. So of course you can fold the rag if it's thin enough and brush into it. Or the other thing you can do is simply take your nylon bristle brush, and what you do is you put just the rag over it and you use the brush right through it. Right, notice how easy it is now. You can do this with old semi-automatic, right? When you have tight spots, but were hard to catch. And on that little system, you have a single, thinner row of brush. So you can do the same, put it on it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna run it through the inner rails. And remember the toggle right on his own rails, and the upper part has his own separate rail. Beautiful. Set this aside. And now I'm gonna do the same, wipe everything down with my nice little cotton brush. I'm sorry, cotton shirt, or rag, I should say. You can use an old t-shirt. Again, I recommend cotton and not synthetic fiber on it, right? Cotton will do better. I can lift off a little bit on the firing mechanism here, so you have a little bit better access to it. Good. And you just wipe everything down. Right? A satisfying piece of work that is. And now I'm going to clean this piece right here. I forgot how you call this piece actually. If one of you know, please put it in the comments, because I don't clean this gun often enough to remember some of the terms used to describe some of the parts. I remember when I cleaned my first Luger, and that was when I used to work as an armorer in a gun shop, and that was before YouTube. That was long before YouTube. So I took the gun apart. That wasn't very complicated, but it was very, very scary, because I had a little bit of trouble putting it back together, to be honest with you. And it wasn't my gun, so it's not like, well, that's okay, you just figure it out sort of thing. But rather, you cannot mess it up, because this is somebody's baby. Very nice. And you set this aside. Okay, so the magazine, I'm gonna just give it a wipe. Just a small wipe onto it. Sure nothing is rusting. All good. Set this aside. I'm gonna run my little oil patch here through the barrel, removing a little bit of the dirt in it, if anything. Now we're gonna try to take a look at how clean the barrel is. Very nice, very nice, very shiny, good rifling in this gun. And I was lucky. I was looking for this gun for many years to add it to my collection. I was very, very lucky to have a friend of mine who owned a gun shop, who actually had one who came in, and that guy knew how much I wanted it and gave me a screaming good deal on that gun. And I am forever grateful to this guy. So Rich, if you ever watch this video, you know who you are. Thank you so much. I mean, my gratitude to you is still there. I still cherish this gun. I didn't buy it to resell it, so this is definitely my little baby. Okay, so we cleaned the gun. The gun is now clean, and we're gonna oil it, and obviously for the scary part, put it back together. So to oil it, to control how much oil I'm putting, same thing, acid brush. I'm gonna go where I have friction. So we know we have one rail here on the outside, so we have a rail lined here, and we have it on the inside for the toggle. So I'll put it just a little wipe. And I'm gonna do it also here. Here I'm gonna have friction. So I put a little bit of the product here. This gun doesn't get shot quite often, so I'm going to be a little bit more generous as far as how much oil I put on it than a regular daily shooter. So just like this. Good. Excellent. I did a pin right here, put a little bit of oil on that, a little bit of oil on inside that plate, and I'm going to also oil the rails on the opposite side here. Up a little bit here, there. Just put it a little bit of wet look to this. Very nice. Excellent. Now you can remove the grip, and from time to time I do to actually clean an oil underneath of them. And there's a screw here and on the opposite side to do so. Just be very, very careful with the wood grip and to wipe underneath of it just to make sure that there's no rust in places where you don't see it. Okay, so reassembly is going to be pretty much the reverse order. So I'm going to take a little toggle assembly right here, and what I'm going to do is, on camera it's a little bit difficult to be honest with you, but I'm going to realign it just like this with the inside rail. Okay, and lift it up and sit it down. Good. So the tricky part is going to have to also do with this. So right now I'm going to bring that toggle and align the little hole right here, so I can put my my little retaining pin right there. Oops, I'll do that. And now you have to play with it a little bit, and it should go in without too much trouble. So it's flush, beautiful, excellent, and that's where it is. This will allow me to close the action. Excellent. So the entire idea is to put this piece behind that fork right here. So the way to do this is going to be to keep this down and reassemble the gun upside down, essentially. So this helps quite a lot to make sure this piece right here flies over and in and stays in the right position when it's supposed to go down. Now you can press against it, you feel the pressure. Okay, so that wasn't very difficult. Next thing we're gonna have is that little plate. So remember that edge. Do not force anything. So if you need to force something, something is wrong. So you're gonna press it down and just sit it. So you see there's a little bit of spring tension here. So you're gonna sit it back and bring the toggle back a little bit. And this will allow you to, oops, let me see. Let me push it back up. This is down. It has to sit completely down. Oops, my bad. Good. Excellent. I like to push on the barrel a little bit. Bring this up. This is a little bit stiff because what I did is I changed the spring on this little part right there. So it has a tendency to sort of want to fight me if you want. All right, so up, this is going to be here. Up, I'm going to push this in here. Cock it back a little bit. Okay, and good. So the best way to do it is actually push against the barrel itself and lift this little tab while holding this piece down. Okay. Very good. Function check. Excellent. All right. So a little bit tricky. When you insert that plate, again, press a little bit down so it has to be flush. So as you can see, this must ride over it. So you can press it down and push onto the barrel to bring the action back, just like so. And that makes it a lot easier for you to close the action into the little takedown level into its closed position again. Beautiful. So almost ready. So what we're going to do now, since the gun is clean, I wipe my hands. And I'm going to wipe that gun completely. All right. I'll do that just like so. We have the safety here. So I'm going to make sure to clean underneath of it. Very nice. And it even tells you when the safety is on. So the flag coming up on the side here. Beautiful. What a beautiful piece of equipment. Excellent. And look at this guy. Beautiful, clean, fantastic. Well, I hope this video would have helped you. Obviously, I hope you own one of those. If you ever come to find a Luger for sale, I know there's a lot of political statement on that gun and political attachment to that gun through the history, not necessarily the best one, but aside from the history of who handled those firearms, you have to appreciate the art of it. It's a beautiful gun. It's absolutely a beautiful gun. So I'm gonna wipe it down. Look at this. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'll put the description. In the description, I put the links of all the products and the equipment I used today to clean that gun. Hope you like it, share it, put a thumbs up, and I hope the camera angle was not too shaky today. Until next time, That was David, and I talk to you soon.